So welcome to my channel, and on this channel we talk about music, politics, art, and everything in between, really. Apparently adored for. Sexy. Okay. And witty.
Why am I back? I just made a video. Just uploaded a video. Anyway, I was listening to Radio Phoenix today, and they were talking about something very interesting. I'll get into that at the later part of the video. So in this video, we're talking about the CBU, the Copperbelt University, and we're also going to talk about what I heard on the radio today. But first, we're going to tackle the Copperbelt University. So we all know that Copperbelt University was closed down because the students exercised their right to complain, to protest. And the university, by former Minister of Higher Education, Luo Nkanduluo, closed the university down and just was like, I just close it down. I don't care about education. I don't care about these young people. I don't care. Close it. So they closed it and just it opened, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. I think the university opened again. There's a new higher minister. He opened the university. So there was a scandal of all the students have to pay 1,500, and people were like, no, we are not going to pay that 1,500. We are not doing that. No, we're not doing that. I don't know what's wrong with my lighting today, but anyway. So then it was reduced. Now we are hearing this new paper which students are being forced to sign. And I use the word forced on purpose. On this particular contract that the students are signing, basically, in short, what they are saying is, even if you don't like something that's happening in the school, you don't get to complain, otherwise you get kicked out. Even if you don't agree with some of the way things are running in the university, basically, when you go to the Copperbelt University now, you're not allowed to complain, protest, do anything. You're supposed to stay in line and be a yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Point blank, period. Some would be like, what's wrong with that? Well, this is the highest learning institution. This is where your thinking is supposed to be, you're supposed to have critical thinking. You're supposed to question all that you know, starting with the things that you were told to believe. You're supposed to question. This is now like you put everything that you've learned in your 12, 13 years of school is put to the test there. Critical thinking there. So now they're telling you, like, if you don't like something, otherwise you get expelled. So basically, they're stamping down on freedom of expression, because even if they hear that you are publishing anything that is outside what they want you to accept, you'll be expelled or put on suspension for a year. It's very sad. Then what kind of leaders are we going to have? Like, if we are doing this to the younger generation as a nation, what leaders are we going to have? No critical thinkers, nobody to question authority, nobody to question the status quo of what's going on in the country. What are we creating? This brings to mind North Korea, where everybody has to have the same haircut. You have to. Dictatorship 101, starting from the highest learning institution. Colonialism, colonial days. You remember the colonial masters when we were still slaves in our own land, when you couldn't be 5 of you in a group and they would arrest you. Remember that? Well, it's coming back. History is repeating itself, and we are here watching it repeat itself, basically. Very sad development. Tell me what you think about this CBU thing. Do you think it's okay for the for the young men and women to sign this and be like, okay, we're not going to protest, we're not going to complain, we're just going to come here, finish our school, go into society, no jobs, basically just go back to our parents' house and suffer with our parents. We're just going to have the papers, they're going to be hanging on the walls, but we're not going to have any jobs. That's about it. Tell me what you think about that. Personally, I think it's just silly. I hope they don't sign. Another friend of mine was telling me, hey, you've seen this new minister, he was there in the meetings, but he's trying to portray himself as the savior. Like he creates a problem and solves it, or he's part of the problem and then solves it. And everybody's like, yeah, Mr. Mushimba, yeah, you're doing a great job. Yay. So he'll probably come through again and be like, no, the students should have the right to protest. Peaceful protests are always welcome. We don't want any violent and then everybody be like, yay. So, and we had this discussion and she said, I think it's so political. And I said, yes, it's political. It's politics. So it's not far-fetched that he could be a part of this. And I use the word could be. He could be a part of this to, to make a better name for himself and so on and so forth. So I don't know, but you tell me what you think about this. Now, as I was saying earlier on, I've done a video on homosexuality in Zambia and Zambia being homophobic, and many people on Facebook Village, trashed me for it, insulted my person for it, which is fine. You can insult me all you want. I don't give a fuck. So I was listening to the radio today and something, it caught my ear. I caught my attention because this person, I wrote it down actually because I don't want to forget his name. This person is Mr. William Peary, the Principal Clinical Officer of Psychiatry at Levi Modawasa Hospital. So Len and Rav were asking him questions about, because there was a recent case of 2 men who were caught, having sex with each other, against the order of nature as our laws state. So almost that in itself is a crime. They were caught in the act because other people alerted the police. They were like, I think they're humping each other. And the police caught them. And so Len and Rav were asking him to say, could it be psychology? Like, could it be a mental illness or something like that? And this man says, no, it has nothing to do with mental illness. Basically, it's just a sexual preference. And the interesting part of this person is in charge, is the principal clinical officer in psychiatry. And this is what he has to, I had to write this shit down. He said, these people are exposed to Western ideas. So this is probably because of the West and what they see. The influx of foreigners is bringing in these homosexuals. And he also stated that it could also be poverty. So stop being poor and then you're not going to be gay. Stop being poor. And kids are going to be gay. And then he also said, Mr. William Peary, that there's treatment for homosexuality. Like you can go to the hospital and there's solutions for homosexuality. So go to the hospital if you're gay or lesbian or bi. According to Mr. William Peary, there's solutions for that. Does this remind you of anything? You remember the guy who actually created the computer, the gay guy? No, they did him. Yeah. Solutions, yeah. And stop being poor, according to him. So he says like this, and the weird part of it all is he did say this is from childhood. Like, he didn't want to use the word they're born with it. He said these people, and he used that word a lot, these people are just like that from childhood. But you can assess the child from a young age. Psychological assessment can be applied to these people, he said. So we have to do some research on these people. Like, what, lab rats? I don't know. What do you think? Is it psychiatric? These are people that you take your kids to, by the way, for if you have a mental health issue. And he's saying this. This is what he's saying. That it's because you're poor, and it's also because of the West. Other people who are coming in, the Western culture, because this is an African. He said, this is not Zambian. Then who is doing it? Is it not Zambians who are doing it? Remember that gay Zambian guy who was like literally there? I think it was even in the newspaper, like some time back. And he was gay. So this is what he said. It's like, I was just shocked. I would like to hear from you. What's your take on this? So I will see you in my next